It means so much for our kids, for our communities, for our economy, for the state of Michigan. School is where kids can learn healthy eating habits for a lifetime. And then being able to invest in local economy and really making those community connections.
Groundwork's Farm to School program started really in 2002 when we first started writing about Farm to School in our new entrepreneurial agriculture report.
We're celebrating our 15th anniversary, which is pretty amazing. We're solutions oriented. We like to find really great models and bring them to the community and to the state. We have created our Farm to School program around the 3 C's, and that's something that all of the most successful Farm to School programs do.
Farm to School focuses on connecting children to local agriculture through cafeterias, classrooms, and within the community.
Groundwork Center is a collaborator with Farm to School, and they helped guide us into opening up Try It Tuesdays.
We bring a fresh Harvest of the Month produce item into the cafeteria.
They sample it all at one time together, and they get to vote whether they liked it, loved it, or tried it. And the more likes and loved it, the more times it's on our menu for the month.
Got one great story of a child coming back a few times, one time to taste kale chips, and saying, "If I triple try it, I love it." As much as school food service in this area wanted to buy from local farms, then nonetheless they have really tight food budgets.
One of the things that we're incredibly proud of at Groundwork Center is the success of 10 cents a meal, which is a state pilot program to help food service directors have a little extra flexibility in their budget to purchase locally grown fruits, vegetables, and legumes.
Any concepts like 10 cents a meal that encourage local schools to purchase more locally grown produce, I'm all for. It's all thumbs up. It's going to help the farmers, it's going to help the community, it's going to help the schools, it's going to help the children's palates.
I had no idea I liked working with kids until I came here, so I'm learning something new that's my favorite every day.
We're also about classroom. You know, if kids can taste food in different ways and have fun activities like growing it in the garden, they're going to be more likely to accept something new that's served to them in the lunch line. Groundwork Center wrote a proposal, and we got in on the ground floor with Food Corp. And so we were able to actually go into classrooms, for example, and
What are some ideas?
teach kids fractions by cutting an apple.
We've tied in science lessons with the food lessons. They've weighed pumpkins.
We found that teachers were enthusiastic, but they didn't recognize the educational value of the lessons and activities that we were bringing in.
Our Food Corps service members were sometimes working back to back, like 11 classrooms. We realized that even though that felt like success, if we really wanted this to be sustainable, we needed to work with the school agency that already serves schools.
And so we partnered with TBA ISD to actually go through our archive of lessons and have their curriculum specialists evaluate all of our lessons and say whether they were legitimately meeting those curriculum standards.
Now that Traverse Bay Area Intermediate School District has a Farm to School website and these lessons are available there.
That was a partnership that took 10 years to build that sort of community with TBA ISD and to have them start to see that their investment in the staff time was actually something that was going to benefit kids in their district. Farm to School is really all about partnerships.
At first, our staffing was such that we had the capacity to really matchmake farms to different schools because different farms have different capacity. When we started, a lot of farmers were used to just having a big truck that they took to a commodity processing plant.
And then newer on the scene in the last 6 or 7 years or so is Cherry Capital Foods, and that has been an excellent wholesale outlet for us as well.
For those farms that didn't want to deliver direct, or those food service directors who needed a little bit more ease of sort of one-stop shopping, you were able to get that. First there was matchmaking, then Cherry Capital Foods came in and I didn't have to do nearly as much matchmaking.
Farm to School has introduced us to a wider audience, and I feel like the diversity of all those market channels helps us be more stable.
And that's what the Farm to School program does. It really allows people to come into themselves as champions for healthy kids and allows the schools to really become these centers of student health.
It can only blossom in this state in terms of how it builds for the health of our kids, for the health of our communities, and the health of our state's economy.
Well, one thing that I think gets overlooked in schools is quality first, right? Quality is where it happens.
I personally have had the experience of being at a farmer's market and having a child drag his mother to the booth to buy parsnips.
First you smell it, then you see it, and then you can decide if you're going to eat it.
He's like, Mom, please, come over here. I want to buy these parsnips. And he was in 3rd grade.
So the food needs to smell good, be attractive, and locally grown foods are almost 100% a better option to achieve those goals.
And I complimented the mother and said, it's really neat that your son knows what a parsnip is and wants you to buy it. You're doing a great job. And she said, oh no, that's not me. That's farm to school.